Good evening. Welcome to Investigator News, and I'm your host, Ellie Holder. And this is Investigator News. And we want you to subscribe and share and follow and hit that like button. We want you guys to get our name out there. Um, I have YouTube and Facebook. They're stunting me. They're not letting me know how many actual viewers are out there. And I've looked into some of the background stuff and find out 10 to 30,000. So, all right, the government admits millions of unemployed people were not counted in the latest job stats. Why? More lies from this administration. Why? Because they don't want to let you know about the social programs they're putting through the Green New Deal. And what are they? It's to hand our country over to socialism, not social programs, socialism. And I've told you in the past shows that socialism eventually leads to communism. And are seeing police stations pop up around our country that are run by China. China pretty much owns San Francisco, pretty much owns California, Mexico. We got them at Cuba with spies looking into our country. And what has the Biden administration said or done? Well, he's out on the beach and everybody's like, oh, look how cool he is. A cool 70-year-old? Really? I'm an old woman. I want to look at 20 and 30-year-olds. I don't want to look at Joe Biden with saggy boobies. That's not cool. It's not sexy. They're trying to build him up that he's tip-top shape for 2024. Get him off the beaches with kids. He wants to sniff them. This we know. We know about this. How soon did the media forget that he was sniffing little girls, fondling them? Now get this. It came out today that his own daughter, what was presented to the FBI and Secret Service, it was hers. He demanded she take showers with him. Who does that? What father will have their children take a shower with them? Oh yeah, he loved it when they were rubbing his legs in the pool. Remember that one? Hillary Clinton pick. It goes to show you folks how bad this administration has become. Sex is big. Little girls. He wanted to sniff little girls. Have any kid rub his leg in the pool. To Julian Assange. Now we got to look at Julian Assange too. How did the gentleman that gave Julian Assange all the info end up a congressman? Favors paid. This administration is real, and I'm not going to say just Joe Biden. This administration is really good at paying back for favors done. And why? You ask why? Why are they getting in power? How are they getting in power? Favors. What favors did they do? What payback for the favors? Now, I thought Hillary Clinton was really bad and Bill Clinton. Well, Bill Clinton, he pretty much just he was a womanizer. Everybody knew that here. He was a womanizer. He was a serial rapist. He bit women. It's well known. He got charged with biting women. He bit the face of a woman and took her cheek out. And I hope my new viewers are listening because I'm going to give you some info on this. And this week is going to be so full of info. I'm going to give you guys all the info I got. There's and you guys thought you had it all. Well, I got more. I got more. They have judges, lawyers. Well, media. That's what the Clintons did here. Remember, Karen can attest to this. I have warned from day one that the Clintons were going to take their policy to Washington D.C. What was it? Own the media, own the every law enforcement agency in the state of Arkansas, and they did. Asa Hutchinson, Bill Barr. Bill Barr was a cleanup guy. Cleanup guy for what? For the Bush family and for the Clintons. And I feel bad for Trump, but Trump should have known better. If he is a savvy businessman, he should have seen that he was being taken. So we don't throw Trump to the side, but don't totally put all your eggs in the hat with Trump. We got to look at a plan. And if he don't have a plan and someone else does, we need to go with a plan. It's the best plan to bring this country back. And I've looked at so many videos, folks, and what I'm seeing is these woke, they're attacking people. And what are we doing? We're watching it. Or hey, wait a minute, I'm gonna get the film on it, and I'm gonna put it on YouTube, Instagram, uh, Facebook, TikTok. Quit filming. Do something. Because we found out when those that are filming, if they would just put their phones down or hand their phones to someone else, and they say, no, what you're doing is wrong, these people are backing off. When they're attacking, let's say, an employee at McDonald's, say, no, 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 get your food and get the hell out. Or get the hell out. Quit doing this. So we're filming it. What good is that when you stand around and take pictures? That's not supporting the victim. That is encouraging the bully to keep going on. And then the lies, lie after lie after lie that we're hearing from this administration. Now, Joe Biden, we have to put him in a dementia. Does he really know what they're doing to his country? Is he in support of this? Jill Biden seems to have her wits, so she's watching it. The socialism. Do we trust NATO? Do we trust the UN? Do we trust those that are tearing down our country? And we look at Klaus Schwab, and he's saying, 2 years ago he was wanting to put Jinping in power. Do we want Jinping? Do we want China in power? No. But look at what's happened over the last 2 years, 3 years. The thing about this is I was watching today with Pandemic and Fauci and a few others. And I thought, you know what? They keep dating it back to 2018, 2019. You know who they're going to blame for this? Trump. They're going to say he caused this. All of everything that's going on right now, everybody, the loss of wages, the loss of businesses, the cities becoming horrible, they're all going to blame it on him. Now, this is my opinion, but I could be wrong. Throw it in my face if I'm wrong. In let's say by election. Is he really going to win if we're stuffing? Oh, I can't say that. If we see someone putting 50 ballots into a box, should we say something? Yes. When they walk up, don't let them put it in the box. Say, wait a minute now. Why do you have all that? Get this. Trump is looking like the winner for 2024, unless we look at election that we seen in 2020. And I've looked at the stats. How could we have 1 million people vote over the amount of votes? How's that happen? How do you get 1 million votes extra? Who voted extra? What states did it? And they're not going to let you know. And when you look at the DOJ or anything on the pandemic or anything on voter ID or anything like that, it's all redacted. And this is what I don't understand, is because they're doing it to you like they did it to us with Kevin Ives and John Henry. When we got back all the info, it was black. Everything had been blackened out. And so what do we know? Nothing. With the FBI report, we know nothing. And if you don't know about Kevin Ives and you're new, look at the boys on the track and watch it all. And no matter what, I've got to get my my special investigation out within tomorrow. I can't wait any longer because others are getting information out ahead of me. This is info I've had for years, folks. It's not just I found out yesterday about Burisma. No, me and my brother did this years ago. Karen, how long ago did we start? Oh, I got hiccups. Karen, how long? Oh boy, hope I don't have the hiccups all through the show. Karen, how long ago did we start? Years. And when we came out, it was about Hunter Biden and Burisma and Joe Biden, Devon Archer, and Hunter Biden, Whitey Bulger, Devon Archer. Did they ask Devon Archer about Whitey Bulger and banking in China? Did they? No, they haven't even got there yet. This is still yet to come out. I did it. I did it in a show with my brother. I've done it with 2 more shows to say they have been doing business with China for a decade. Who did it before then? Hillary Clinton. And who was in office? Obama. When the Clintons left office, they were under investigation for Chinagate. What's Chinagate? We sold nuclear secrets to China, the CCP. And then we went back and helped them put it into effect. And so what did they do? They said, oh, we need something to cover China up. Republicans are going to get Joe Biden and Hunter Biden for what's going on in China. So what they do? Nadler. They put Nadler in. And Nadler knows about this. Remember I gave you the list the other day of everybody that knew about what was going on with the boys? It's the same ones that knew about the impeachment. So Nadler knew. Nadler knew what we had done in China. And so what was the best bet? An affair with Bill Clinton. Let's impeach him with Monica Lewinsky. And don't look over at the China that we sold them nuclear weapons. Let's look at Monica Lewinsky. And how many people looked at Monica Lewinsky instead? Did they even look at Whitewater? Did they look at anything the Clintons had done? How they paid off the media? They paid off all of the policing for the state with the help by Asa Hutchinson. And who else? William Barr. I know if you guys like William Barr, you know what? Think about it. Because not only did Bush say he's our cleanup man for um, documents, he went as far as the first year and a half with the Clinton administration. He's a cleanup man, document cleanup man. Oh, yeah, he plays the bagpipes. Oh, he's this gentle giant. But you know what? Time to hold him accountable. As well as Fauci, folks. And when we see this unemployment, it's just par for the course. How many times has this administration lied to their own voters? Who cares? Let's block us out. Forget about the Republicans. How many times have they lied to their own voters? Every time a lie comes out, don't think of it, oh my gosh, they lied to us. No, how many times have they lied to their own voters? Think of that. That's how I look at it. I'm like, and their voters don't understand this. They just got lied to. They got screwed over. Well, not the African Americans, because they're very smart. I had one of a very close friend of mine, and he said, you know what, my whole my bros, my man, we're looking at, we've been lied to. We were told to sell out to the socialist programs and it would help us. And it didn't. And then they say, oh, reparations. He said, I don't even know who my ancestors are because the Democrats have so erased history. We don't even know who. I know. Because, in 11th, 12th grade, my kids, my grandkids, looked at Ancestry and they had to run our history and DNA. I know my family had slaves. Oh, wow, Ellie, really? Why? Because I've got Black American, African American in my blood. Not only that, but I've got Mexican or Spanish. Mexican from Mexico. Spaniard. Chicano. Who cares what you call it? And the reparations, oh my God. When I looked at how many times I couldn't go to school during the 60s and 70s because African Americans wanted to riot and hurt Black people. What are they doing now? Well, guess what? Africans are going after white farmers. They're going to assassinate them because Africa is Africa. Well, the British did come in. I can't say I'm opposed. I'm opposed because I have a friend that has a beautiful school there. But it's only because Africans and their gangs, their military has closed it off, that there's no learning and no education in Africa. They didn't even know about farming. We taught Somalia how to farm. Folks, it is so screwed up. This whole world is so screwed up. And who do you believe? Do you believe Klaus Schwab? Do you? If you do, then you're for the Green New Deal. Do you believe in the Green New Deal? Do you really believe that our world is going to end in 2030? Well, wait a minute. Bernie Sanders said in the 70s, oh, we're all going to die. We're all going to die in 8 years. And he did it, and he did it, and he did it. And then we had Al Gore come out. We're all going to die. Yeah, by this date. Well, that date's come and gone. And we had Greta. Oh, yeah, they got a little girl to come out and scream and cry and throw a fit and say, we're all going to die. Now she's saying, you know what? I seen the plan. They've deceived you. Who cares? Are we going in an ice age or a heat wave? Do we really know? In the heat of the moment, even the Weather Channel says it pushes us to an ice age. Are we going to see an ice age this winter? We don't know. They say, oh, climate's going to make it severe. Okay, so we go into an ice age. We're going to have the worst snow of ever. We're having the worst heat of ever. Oh boy. Oh boy. So, all right. As we are looking into everything that is going on in our politics, they're too old, folks. We got it. Mitch McConnell. Have they even come out and told us what's wrong with him? Did he have a stroke? Did he fall? Was it from the fall? Is it dementia? No, mum's a word. Why? Even the Democrats should be attacking him. They should be saying, oh, no, no, no. We need Schumer in to control everything. But they're not talking. Why? Why won't they talk about it? Kamala Harris is telling reporters about her response to being the border czar. Busloads of migrants have been dropped off at your doorstep, GOP-led states. Despite those tactics, you do have Republicans who are largely making inroads with Latino voters. There are many critics, some within your own party, who say that there's more that your administration should be doing on the migration. Do they have a point? So first of all, she said, let's agree that the people should not be the pawns of a political game. Human beings should not be treated as pawns in a political games. This is her response. They have seen 2.3 million migrants encounter between 2020 and 2022. 1.7 mil so far this year. We haven't even got to the end of the year. If you don't want to deal with the problem, she said, then do it as if you were a leader by participating in the solution. One very clear solution, very significant solution, has been in the front door for us for years now. This is what Harris said. The Biden administration tasked Harris with addressing the root cause of migration. During her tenure, federal authorities have recorded more than 2.3 million migrants encounters in the first fiscal year of 2022, and more than 1.7 mil so far this year. And they did a poll. 78% of what comes over our borders are either mental patients, people that need help, or a gang, or so mental they want to kill people. And when Camilla Harris was asked about this, she said they are looking at the root causes and that eventually they will be able to find out what is the problem. And what do we get with the migrants, folks? Diseases. Now, William talked about this last night, but William, did you hear the new one today? Leprosy. What? Should your ears pop? Should your eyes pop wide open? Should your ears hear? Leprosy has come back. That's from, they say, Africa and South America. Well, we didn't have that here in the States. Why is leprosy here? And get this, it's not the leprosy of biblical days. It's way worse. Is this the next pandemic? And when I looked into NIDS and I looked into Africa, I looked into China, and I'm like, okay, what's the next one? What's the next one? Because we got school starting, and of course they always do the flu thing, where we all need to go and we all need the flu thing happening. And I even asked my doctor, do I need to worry about the next pandemic or the next flu for uh, uh, fall and winter and spring? And he said, they haven't received any info yet, except for on the last pandemic happening again and more fierce. Well, I thought we were looking at um, when we were treated for this, that we wouldn't have to worry about the pandemic again. That was another lie. Another lie. How many lies have we been told with this administration? Not only about our vice president, but about um, CIA, FBI, the Department of Justice that has been corrupt. When we looked into Ukraine, but then we find out in the last few days that Joe Biden covered it all up and he bought into it. He put money into Ukraine oligarchs. And then all of a sudden we see these oligarchs, we're looking for them. And lo and behold, they're sitting in all the resorts living high on the hog right now. Is Biden going to go after him? More than likely, no. Why? Why did Joe Biden in early 2003, 4, 5, 6 so want to invest in Ukraine? Is it odd that the Ukrainians call him the president, vice, and Zelensky vice? Did they do so many favors for Joe Biden? This is a payoff? It could be. It could be. The investigation I've done, and I feel for Giuliani, folks. I really do, because he had the servers, he had a lot of the info, and then we had Peter Schweizer and a few others that we could pull the info from. But when we look at Giuliani with the servers, folks, Giuliani's getting old. I see a little bit of dementia, and it's just kind of hard to watch now. But we need to know the truth. With an administration that has lied everything from unemployment now to Biden economics to the goods coming into our country, to the pandemic, to Ukraine, to Taiwan, even Syria, even lying about what's going on in Africa. And when we have Africa now that is going to kill white farmers, why? Because they're white. We're not hearing about this. I'm not claiming racism. I'm claiming culture. They have wanted to kill the white farmers for 10 years. The farmers fled, and with a mercenary group that went in there. A lot of people don't know about this, but a white mercenary group went in and they were taking out the farmers and put them in a refugee camp, and but kept one or two of them there to show them, hey, this is our house, this is our farm. Now show us how you run your house and your farm. And now they're at it again, except for they want to kill them. How many have they killed? Many people that own those homes of these farms are now dead. And the mercenaries have now moved in order to save their culture. Oh boy. Um, oh boy, I got the puppy going crazy out there. Um, um, Now, when you see, now we haven't heard from Anthony Weiner. We really haven't. Him and Uma and a few others have been loose. They went into hiding. They went into seclusion. They don't want to talk. Well, the reporters have found them, and they asked about the Clinton associate suicide epidemic, and they all agreed it was there. What is that? Archicide. So now Anthony Weiner meltdowns about the Clinton associate suicide epidemic. Epidemic. It's not just, oh, a couple were killed. Well, dozens died. Not only to cover up what they did with Bush, the cover up what they did in Arkansas as far as the state, the cover up to go with the drugs, the cover up to go with the drugs at Amina, the cover up, it just cover up after cover up. Even their foundations, even all the way back to AIDS with Anthony Fauci. And Anthony Weiner is saying, wait, it wasn't, we didn't do so much wrong as they did for decades. Now, when we, I want to, the big thing about Burisma, folks, is one thing I wanted to know is the Obama connection. Now, he had to have known because anything that was like, remember they said, we're going to have the special prosecutor fired. We're only going to send them blankets. Why would Obama want to cut them off due to what? What was going on in Ukraine? This to me was we were trying to, Joe Biden was trying to get Ukraine to submit and Russia to back off. So Obama threatened, Biden fired, and then Putin said, wait a minute. And then in 2016 is when we're looking at Russians living in Ukraine. And they were told, if you don't speak Ukrainian, we will shoot you. If your kids refuse, if you refuse for your kids to learn Ukrainian, the culture, the language, we will kill the families. And so they fled to Crimea. A lot of people don't understand that. So is it right for Putin to do what he's doing? No. He shouldn't be moving in. He should just say, if you're Ukrainian and you want to be a Russian and you are Russian, come to Russia. No, don't take over. Don't take over and start this huge war. Now, Zelensky's even said he will fight it all the way till 2030, 40, 50. He's going to take Russia. Why? Why? And he said, We've had this long-standing war with Syria, so why not keep Ukraine the same way? This is Zelensky's word. Well, we have had a long-standing battle in Syria, yes. But look at where it's at today, where we have Israel now looking at a war with Hezbollah and Hamas within hours. I kept listening and listening and listening, and I got a hold of my sources in Israel, and they all said it's going to war. Why? Because Iran says that Israel is at the weakest it's ever been in history. Iran puts Israel back to 1940. So now we got another war. I mean, we've got Russia and Ukraine. We're soon to have Israel in a war. Now we're looking at Taiwan and uh, China and us. There's many more. I mean, William has told you even about Somalia. There are so many wars that they have stretched us out. And that's exactly what Iran is claiming that happened to Israel. They stretch them out, stretch them out, stretch them out until they can't afford another war. And then at the weakest, they come in and they will take over. Is that what they're doing to Trump? Um, you know, um, I've learned in Arkansas that the Clintons will take you to court, take you to court, take you to court, accuse you, accuse you, accuse you until they drain you of all your money. Is that what they're doing? Is that what they taught the Democrats? Wow. A lot of info there. Lots to think on. I really hope you guys think on this because as we move into this administration said yes, we're socialist. We are Marxists. We are fascists. We are bringing in the socialist program. And then when the Democrats ask about it and their voters are like, oh, don't worry, it's just a few programs, where we're going to get you more money. We're not actually socialist. We're kind of socialist. Such liars. And then what can I say when I'm in a state that's red that I can't say much and go after these people? But, if we don't stand up, next time you're somewhere in McDonald's and you see one of these women that are just off, oh, I don't have to pay for my coffee because I'm a Democrat. Well, you say something because when you say something as someone out in the open, it embarrasses them. Oh boy, I still got a lot to go. Um, as we look at, oh goodness, we look at Schumer. Let's look at Schumer. Let's look at McConnell. Schumer has been caught in so many scandals, folks, and it's hidden. He has been sued dozens of times, but it's hidden. Him and Schiff had come up with false narratives for a decade, and it's never brought up. What about Mitch McConnell? What is wrong with him? Is it time to get a new speaker? I think so. And the other day I was talking about term limits for old. I'm not being mean, folks. I'm being real to say that look at Schumer. Schumer and Schiff, they're not old, but what they have implemented, even with Pelosi, into our country, whether it's a Green New Deal or if it's fascist, Marxism, socialism, they're moving at an accelerated pace. So you got to look at who they're looking at. And my thing is Klaus Schwab. But what? Let's cut him out. How about they're listening to the World Economic Forum? And everything that the World Economic Forum has said, this country has done. But okay, let's put our country aside. Who else has done this? All of them. UK, Europe, everybody is bowing to the World Economic Forum. And if you would not believe the history behind Klaus Schwab. We know about George. Anybody ever look into Klaus? Why not? We're finding out he's worse than George. Way worse. Now, do we really, as Republicans, deserve the leader of the House and Senate when we have 20 to 25 that don't vote with us? Why? Shouldn't the GOP be looking at those that are voting against us to find out why? This has been going on for a decade. So why didn't any Democrat, where's Grassley on this? Where's Jordan on this? Where's McCarthy? Senator Graham? All of them want to complain about what the left has done. But why didn't they look at our own party of why they're voting against us? How about taking them out of power? Why haven't they done that? There's, there's such a good possibility Trump might win in 2024 or GOP. But if we don't correct the problem of the corruption in the GOP, as well as we're getting to it, we're digging into the Democrats. But if we don't fix the GOP and their corruption, we're going to be looking at once again, a lame administration that doesn't get anywhere. Because these guys are strong. I mean, they have got interns that are writing Biden scripts all the way to telling Kamala Harris what she needs to say, all the way to finding a way to go after Trump, other leaders, other politicians, other world leaders to take them down. So what? So what are they going to get? Socialism. Okay, so we get socialism, then what? Now I've told you it goes into communist. And who did world economic leaders vote to be in charge? China. Does it make sense why they're here? Well, the balloons are coming over. They're spying on us from Cuba. They are got police stations. They are buying land all over the United States. It makes sense that they're trying to gain. It's not anytime. Don't freak out and think that this is going to happen this year. No, it's going to take quite a long time. They got a couple hundred acres. A couple of police stations, a couple of things they've been doing. That's not a takeover yet. But if we don't stop it and teach our kids and our grandkids, they're going to think that this administration is powerful and the GOP is nothing but a joke. Keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. Boy, this is a show to share today. I'm putting a lot of good stuff out. The next thing, William, you look into this for me. I know William's watching. Cartels add narco subs. Submarines, narco submarines in the Gulf. Why? U.S. Customs and the Border Protection last month stopped a semi-submersible off the southwest Mexico coast. 4 tons of cocaine was seized. But the whole thing was, what is China good for? You put your horrible in the center and you put everything innocent around it. When they wanted to spy, they would put all the ships around them were just fishing vessels. And in the center, corruption. It was a big bust, but certainly not the first time the agency has thwarted an alleged plot to bring drugs into the United States with such a watercraft. 8,000 pounds of narcotics seized just last month. It is worth over $108 million. They also seized over the years, including 2021, they nabbed six Colombian nationals that were transporting 42,000 pounds of cocaine in the Sinaloa cartel. Southern Africa, bringing it to Northern Africa so they could make flowers and send it into the United States to listen in on housing. How many times you have a vase and you got flowers and you get it delivered and you're like, I love the vase. Okay, flowers are dead, and you put it in your cupboard. Did you actually seem to think there was a tag, a spot, anything that could have had a listening device on it? That's how sneaky they are. We seen this week, I was like, water heaters, really? What's next? I was like, wow, they're out of things. Oh no, guess what? Plastics. Plastics are next, according to this administration. Those little plastic things you get to take home meals or stuff, plastics that you put your leftovers in. Tupperware isn't being attacked yet, but what about the anti or not um, Tupperware, but other type of secure ware. And they're saying, you know what? Store it all because they're going to come get you in a few years. So you can't store anything. Now, I have prepped rice, noodles, and some other things, kind of canned goods. But I've done rice and noodles because it's very quick and instant rice you can cook up and you can eat. It isn't real when you find drugs. It is real, but blame it on the Republicans, really? When the Republicans were in office and totally in control, not many had issues of theft, rapes, stolen property, people breaking into the houses, car thefts. Now it's back up again. And when you look into it, then all of a sudden here's this gentleman that comes out and he says, I was a part of that. But it's way far ahead. But if we don't learn of all the tidbits, we're going to miss out on what they're going to do next. How many, I have to point back to the 70s when I was in California and they said, you know what? We have no crude oil. And I was like, what? They're full. Because I had family members that lived in between Sacramento and San Francisco, you would see. And there's a certain part of the bay where you could see the crude oil storage. It never went down, folks. And they were going to get, um, they wanted to get whoever they could pay to go over there and take a look at it and say, hey, what's wrong with your equipment? Because they were no longer answering. And the ones that we did send over ended up dead, as well as everybody. And according to the data from Energy Information, the SPR is at its lowest level since 1983. And the feds raised the rates again. They said, oh, wait a minute. No, you wait a minute. When you want to add in millions of people that weren't counted as unemployed because you want to play a number game, and now you want to add them in, uh, oops, they say. We made a mistake. We forgot of like 53,000 votes. We are to the point where we see Russia calming down, China calming down, us climbing down, us starting to revamp. You've got to start prepping because we just don't know. Because the shelter I've got is only going to fit 3 or 4 people, and we're going to be squished. They're making these weather patterns so that it levels a town. Uh, Many times I've talked with people that said, yeah, we were in the house and we heard it on one part, so we went ahead and moved to the other part, came out, and half our house is gone. And then now, lastly, I might end up early, ending early tonight. I want to talk about Israel because um, they all been taking to the streets. It doesn't matter if it's Palestinian, it doesn't matter if it's Jewish. Everybody's taking up to the streets and demanding better living conditions. Now, if you look at Palestinians, they're claiming Hamas, Hezbollah, but they're willing to let them bring their missiles in to take Israel out because they're mad at Israel too. And Iran has put their foot in. And we're seeing more and more, folks, where we have world leaders that they see what's going on with Syria, or they see Ukraine, or they see uh, Israel. They're willing to finance wars. Is that the world? Um, oh, William, what's it called? World Economic. It's not World Economic. It's the World War elite. But we have a political elite that is in office right now. And if you don't recognize, everybody says a squad. No, it's not just a squad. You look at Schumer and Waters and Jackson and Schumer and Schiff and Pelosi and uh, uh, Biden, Feinstein. So there is 2 dozen that are willing to take this country down because why? Well, they don't really know. They're just going to do it. How many times have I sent my ladies at the Capitol out? Just ask why they want to do this. And they said, just because they're mean. GOP and Christians are mean. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. And reparation is just going to bring this country to its knees. It'd be um, so much destruction, so much crime. By the time anybody can get all this sorted out, will it be too late? Okay, let's see if I got anything else. Boy, I rambled today. Um, Protesters take to the streets of Gaza. See, that's what I'm talking about with Israel. Um, we are the closest right now to Israel going to war with Hamas, Hezbollah, and Iran. They said it could be any time. Then what? Is this going to be the start of World War III, or it's just more threats from Hamas, Hezbollah, and Iran? I think they're all serious right now, folks. And of course, me and William will have the World War III report tomorrow. William, we really need to look because this is close. I mean, this is closer than Taiwan and United States and China. The, Iran is getting more and more aggressive. Um, and we are looking at, some people will look at biblically saying, this is what was talked about, but we don't know if it's going to go that far, folks. We have heard over and over and over again throughout history, this is it. This is the time. And what did God say? Nobody will know the time or the place. We just need to deal with our wars and keep the peace. And with Zelensky saying he's going to continue on with going after Russia till 2050 because he feels he's weakening them slowly. Really? And he says, and why not? Because Syria, how many decades of Syria went to war? Look how many, and he said, what about Vietnam? How long we were at war with Vietnam? So it's only plausible. It's only a good thing, is if we go to war with Russia for what, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years? The military industrial complex must love this. All right, folks. That is it for today. And tomorrow we'll have the World War III report. Um, you know, as we move forward with Ukraine and Taiwan, and now it's Israel, it's a three-way wait to see who's going to strike first. Well, Israel, will Iran, will it be Taiwan, or will it be China or us? Over in Ukraine, is it going to go to 2050? We don't know. This administration, when's the last time you seen a State of the Union address of Biden telling us? What about Biden stepping in saying this is what's going down? Calm down, everyone. Every president up to him has done this, to where they address the people of the United States on what is going on so they won't be fearful. It's not happening. This family was so into making money, millions, billions. It's just corrupt. All right. So subscribe, hit the like button, and thumbs up, and come back tomorrow. Me and William's going to have a good show tomorrow. I think I gave him probably some really good ideas to look up. But we really need to look at Israel because Israel could be the starting of the wars. Hezbollah doesn't wait, neither does Hamas, and Iran definitely doesn't wait. Taiwan can wait. These third world nations are always the first to jump in. And what are we going to do? Are we going to send them money? Do we have the ammunition? According to this administration, we do not. But we sure got the money and everything we need to send anything to Ukraine. All right, folks, that's it for tonight's show. And I thank you all for watching. Subscribe, hit the like button, share, share, share. Tell your teller at the bank about our show. I did today, and she never knew about it, and she added us. Gonna watch tonight. All right, folks. Have a wonderful Tuesday, and tomorrow will be Wednesday, and me and William will be back with some great info. Y'all take care, and we will see you tomorrow.